One here at the Leadoff, a fun day of softball. Two come from behind, one a win, one you couldn't finish off. Just some initial thoughts on a pretty good day of softball.
Well, I think we are what we are. You know, we're young, and the thing that we've grown at. Well, obviously DeVries has grown. I mean, we got a lot of quality innings out of her that we really didn't get as much in Florida. And then we're competing. You know, I think the battle that we're showing is starting to elevate. And you know, the first game, like you said, we came back, and then you know, to get down to a Texas Lutheran team 3-0, and you know, no disrespect to them, but you know, we pretty much gave them everything that they got with some plays that, and it wasn't just young players. Sadie had a questionable play at third that, you know, Abby drops one and Sarah makes a play and never doesn't make a play, and you know, you get behind, but to our players' credit, we come right back and we're tied, and you know, so overall pleased with the two games, and we're not, you know, never have been, never will be a fan of moral victories. You know, I mean, we had a chance to win, and you know, but again, you could say we had a chance to lose both too. So we're not happy with the 1-1, but we're happy that we've made some progress.
Starting with the Piedmont game again, you find yourself in a 4-0 hole. You take Carly Olsen out of the game, which some people may have seen as a bit of a give up. Was that the mentality?
No, not really. I mean, it was a combo of things. You know, we've played a lot of games already last week, and Carly's obviously thrown a lot of innings, and you know, I wanted to see what we were going to do, and quite frankly, we have to get some of the other pitchers going, whether it's Trish, Annie, or both of them. We're not at the point of the season where we'd even consider going exclusive with Carly. So we wanted to see what would happen, and again, to Annie's credit, you know, she came in and kept the game there, and you know, then when we, I think they got first and second or whatever it was, I forget now, and we brought Carly back in to finish it. So no. We just have to find innings for other people, and we just thought that was a good time. And if we didn't get the lead back, you know, we weren't going to keep going. We weren't going to have Carly try to keep it at 4-0, I guess is what I'm saying.
They got bases loaded in the 7th and bases loaded in the 8th. One out in the 7th, nobody out in the 8th inning. Talk about the resiliency of fighting through what appears to be, you know, in both spots, almost if the game's lost and you battle back to win it.
Well, you said it. It is. And when you look at you know, when you're the pitcher and the catcher, and you know, nobody's, you got to remember we had a freshman catcher in there that wasn't expecting probably to be in there as much as she is right now because of the Walton injury, and you know, the play Voss made, that's a huge play to get out of that. I don't know which inning that was, but we got out of that, and then when you think about I believe the top of the 9th when they loaded them up, and you know, nobody out, a couple outs, and we're 3-0, and you know, boom, we get out of it, and that's pretty remarkable, you know, no matter who you're playing. And so it was a good one to win, and there are a lot of things, I guess, that we can put in our memory bank that we did well, and 2 or 3 things that, you know, if I had to gauge it, 70% good and 30% not so good, and unfortunately 30% not so good, created that 4-0 lead in the first game, and created that 3-0 deficit in the second.
That was going to be my next question as we talk about the TLU game. A lot of coaches will say that more games are lost than are won. Do you feel like you lost that game with 3 errors
well,
in the second?
I think I actually created that line. I mean, that's kind of what we talk about all the time, and it's true. You know, again, it's no disrespect to the opponent, but the opponent is always the game, and the game beat us pretty bad in that first 2 innings. I mean, it was the world of softball 17 Central nothing. You know, because we just weren't playing the game well, and you know, in some ways we were fortunate. We were only down 3-0, and so yeah, I think what we did lost the game, and they had to, you know, then if you go back to the 7th inning though, I mean, you know, Carly, when you throw a rise ball, sometimes it's going to flatten out, and that's what happened. So in that case, I don't think we did lose. They just hit a mistake and drove it. But you know, unfortunately, we probably should have been in a whatever 3-1 lead or something like that at that point. So I'm glad we bounced back from 3-0, but it's disappointing to come out like that and give a very good team a 3-0 lead.
As we go to day 2 of the Leadoff, you have an early game tomorrow morning against Western Connecticut State. Of course, there's a storyline there with Coach O'Brien, her former team. And also then, as you go to tomorrow, you could end up in any of the 3 brackets for your second game of the day. So how do you approach game 2?
Well, we don't think about the bracket. You know, it's just another game that obviously we want to win, which would most likely put us in the silver bracket, which seems to kind of be our MO. That's the bracket we usually get in. But you know, and it's going to be a little tough. But fortunately, none of the players, you know, Coach O'Brien, obviously that's far enough removed that there's no knowledge of who they are, and the coaching staff, yeah, because they played for her. So, you know, it'll probably be a little more difficult for her, and we'll both be glad, and I think they will when that game is over, and you know, we'll be more glad if we won it. But you know, when we play, we're going to compete, and we've known for a long time that was going to be a game that we're going to play in the pool. But you know, if we can win that and be 2-1 in our pool, and our one loss being a very competitive loss to a team that's going to win a lot of games, we would take that. And if that ends up in the gold or silver, 2-1 will be in one or the other. We'll take that.